Throughout his 4 years at Mount Carmel, over 12 trimesters, taking 6 classes for each of those trimesters, which math I would do if I was a math teacher instead of an English teacher, he has never had a grade lower than A+. His final grade point average going into the final exams this week is a 5.07. And legend has it that the last time he received a grade other than an A+ was in 5th grade social studies. And what was wrong with that teacher? T.J. Laurisch.
On behalf of the senior class of 2012, I want to thank everyone for attending the honors banquet tonight. I want to thank the Carmelites and the faculty for their sincere dedication to the values of Mount Carmel. I also want to thank the family and friends of students here in attendance. Your support is greatly appreciated. My favorite sandwich is not peanut butter and banana anymore, but it was freshman year. I'm sure most of you will recall Coach Anthony's sandwich psychology. For those of you who don't, essentially, like Mike said, Coach Anto asks everyone what his favorite sandwich is, and then he draws a conclusion about everyone based on respective sandwiches. When my turn came around, I told Coach that my favorite sandwich was peanut butter and banana. Coach Anto paused, then looked at me and said, "Mr. Laurisch, Mount Carmel is going to be the bacon on your sandwich." As crazy as that sounds, he was right. Mount Carmel is the bacon on my peanut butter and banana sandwich. People always ask me, was the travel at Mount Carmel worth it? My ride to and from school is a steady 35 minutes. So, over the past 4 years, I've spent 46,200 minutes commuting to school. And that's not accounting other activities. And I'm not the only one who makes a commute. And I'm certainly not the only one who makes a commute of 35 minutes. We have Connor Hirsch from Wilmette, who spent 66,000 minutes driving over the past 4 years. And by the time Joey Padler's Carmel career is over, he'll have driven 86,000 minutes. And next year, he will have traveled enough miles in his Mount Carmel career to have circumnavigated the world twice. The truth of the matter is, everyone in this room has made myriads of sacrifices to be a part of this Mount Carmel community, especially the parents and guardians. You've spent countless dollars to send your sons to Mount Carmel. You've probably also hired countless pairs of pants. I assure you that your effort is worth it. Your sons will leave Mount Carmel fully equipped for success in the world. On behalf of the entire student body, I thank you all. There's just something about Mount Carmel that makes it unique. You have Coach Nick, who can be described in one word, walkathon. You have Mr. Daly, also describable in one word, and that is youthful. We have Mr. Hansen, who still won't admit that his green suit jacket is from winning the Masters in '04. We have Doc Berry, whose AP Latin 4 class consists of 2 subjects, Virgil and the lives of his 2 children, Emma and Eli. We have Coach Ehrenstrom, who takes immense pleasure in telling me that I'm going to drown in a rainstorm someday. Mrs. Whitaker, whose room always smells like baked goods and happiness, and her brother, Mr. Sabaki, who will play Russian roulette with you. Just ask Brendan Walsh. And you can't forget Coach Antonetti, who thinks that Crocs are acceptable attire for mass dress code. Seriously though, we've been blessed with the best teachers out there. Without our teachers, we certainly wouldn't be where we are today. They truly love their jobs and make themselves consistently available to students. They're incredibly underappreciated, so I want to thank them for the dedication to the success of every student. The underclassmen in the room, I hope you appreciate the opportunities that Mount Carmel has to offer. Although you're not going to realize it until you're leaving, Mount Carmel will have an incredible impact on your life. It will build your character beyond belief, instilling discipline and respect within you. You'll build meaningful relationships with both your classmates and your teachers. And your teachers and coaches won't hesitate to help you along your journey either. When the time comes for filling out college applications, our counseling department, led by Coach Eisenbraun, will provide you with everything that you need, and I guarantee that. I can honestly say that my opportunity to play baseball for Harvard or MIT was created by my coaches, Coach Imes and Coach Uri. They not only helped my development as a player, but contacted the colleges that I was interested in and conveyed my interest in them. I want to thank the entire baseball team as well, for they have battled with me on the field and are battling right now as we speak, while supporting me in academic endeavors off the field. I also must thank the Bajensky family for their generosity in providing me with a full tuition scholarship for my senior year here. I had the privilege of knowing Stephen Bajensky and playing baseball with him, and it's an honor to represent his memory. Underclassmen, challenge yourself and stay involved. You're never going to forget your classmates and the times we had here together. To my fellow classmates, let's leave Mount Carmel in anticipation for what college has to offer. I know we've had a difficult time in losing Kevin Kennelly, but he'll always be with us. He was a tremendous teammate of mine, and a best friend of many of you. Let's never forget the good times that we had with him, and let's never forget each other. I know that I plan on keeping in touch with everyone while I'm in Massachusetts. We're all going to become phenomenal resources for one another, and I guarantee it. For example, when Nick Roach is in the NFL, he's going to leave me some tickets at Will Call, so then I can go watch him get pancaked on the field. I especially want to thank Alan Slater, Josh Gall, Bill Patterson, and Tom Scamp, four of my closest friends, for their continual support. But they weren't the only ones. Every single one of my classmates supported me along our journey through high school, and I want to thank each and every one of you. You're all my brothers, and I'm going to miss seeing you guys every single day. Know that if I can ever help you with anything at all in the future, I'll be more than willing to. Good luck next year. I also want to acknowledge the classmates who made the top of our class so competitive for these past 4 years. Prior to this year, I think the highest GPA in Mount Carmel history was 4.97. I'll have to ask Mr. Daly about it after my speech, since I know he's been in Carmel since 1902. In our class alone, our top 3 students have surpassed it. Mike Hogan has a 5.02 GPA, and Kevin Andres has a 4.99. Kevin is headed to Notre Dame next year, and he's easily one of the smartest kids that I know. Mike, who just spoke, is joining Kevin at Notre Dame. He exemplifies the ideal student, both extremely smart and hardworking. Nick Roach is one of the hardest working kids that I know. He has brains, brawn, and the mental capacity to handle anything thrown at him. He's going to do big things at Western Michigan next year. We also have Peter Smagash going to the University of Chicago next year on a full tuition scholarship. And I can't forget Connor Hirsch, the highest ACT score in our class. He's a pure genius, but you would never know because of his modesty. We all pushed each other and worked with one another in a true collegiate fashion, and I'm honored to have you as my classmates. Finally, I want to thank my family. Your presence and support means the world to me. To my little sister Alexia, you've always been supportive of me, whether it's attending banquets like these or watching my baseball games. You've tolerated hundreds upon hundreds of hours of all of my activities, and I really appreciate it. You also got me addicted to soccer, and I'm forever thankful for that. I'm always going to be here for you, so let's play some FIFA when we get home. Grandma, you've been an inspirational figure in my life. In pursuing your dreams throughout your lifetime, you've encouraged me never to give up on mine. You and your father, Vashili, raised me in my younger years and are a major factor in my success. Dad, Monica, you've supported me in every endeavor I've assumed. You've never hesitated to provide me with valuable advice, often directing me to articles and books that have guided me in the right direction. And Dad, for the record, I will strike you out. And my car is a faster 0 to 60 time. Mom, through your guidance in my life, I've discerned my true passions. There hasn't been a time where you haven't been there for me. You're the foundation behind my success, and I'm forever grateful for that. You're one of the biggest reasons why I'm standing up here right now tonight, and I can't possibly express how much I appreciate all you've done for me. And, for the record, I will be emailing you my college papers so you can review them. Finally, I want to thank my deceased grandfathers, who always made themselves available. May your memory be eternal. I love you all, and words can't convey how thankful I am to have been supported by you for the past 17 years. On behalf of the senior class, I want to thank you all again for coming tonight. I appreciate your toleration of me for the past few minutes, because I know we all want to eat, especially Nick Roach. So I'll leave you with this. There's only one type of success in the world, and that's being able to spend your life in your own unique way. Thank you.
As we take some photos here, how about another round of applause for the Valedictorian and Salutatorian of the class of 2012.
Thank you, Mr. Haggerty, and thank you to Father Tony, Mr. Schindler, the Carmelites, faculty, and all the parents and relatives for coming. Upon graduating from 8th grade, I was told to enjoy high school, because before I knew it, it would be over. It is 4 years, I thought to myself, half the time of grammar school. It won't be over that quickly. Well, wow, they were right. It has gone by fast. When I chose Mount Carmel, I knew it would be a little different of an experience than my other options. This was confirmed in one of my first classes through Coach Anto's annual sandwich psychology, an exercise in which you pick a sandwich you think you resemble, and Coach Anto describes some of your character traits. Mount Carmel has kept this reputation, in my opinion. We always did things just a little different. We learned a lot in the way guys do. We competed with a profound sense of pride in ourselves, our school, and God. And all the while, we had fun doing it. Mount Carmel has challenged me and everyone else immensely in the area of academics. With a rigorous curricula and excellent teachers, Mount Carmel's education has been difficult. Mount Carmel showed me early on that in order to succeed, you had to work at the next level. If you went into class and only tried to get by, you likely would not. The attitude and work ethic were necessary to succeed. Along with the knowledge I have received, these are some of Mount Carmel's most important lessons. During my time at Mount Carmel, we have seen great athletic success. I personally have been fortunate enough to be on accomplished teams in soccer, track, and rugby. The football team went down state last year, our basketball team advanced to the Super Sectionals 2 years ago, and our baseball team is looking great this year, while already having a phenomenal season last year. All of these sports and successes have provided both enjoyment and teaching. Watching the football team's road to the state championship is one of my favorite memories. The excitement and camaraderie during this time was incredible, and these sports have taught us the values of hard work, discipline, and teamwork. Yet for me, these are not the things that make Mount Carmel the best choice I could have made for high school. It is the day-to-day things that I've experienced here. Mount Carmel is Coach Nick's stories about old students, and the silence and fear as Mr. Spucky walks into his chemistry class. It is Mr. Daly's incompetency in working technology, and his daily 200 times punishments. It is learning through books, lectures, notes, and the occasional movie and video project or two. For me, Mount Carmel includes Coach Enright's very difficult but rewarding AP US history, and the quirky yet deeply intellectual discussions with Coach Herster. Stockberry's Eli stories or his friggin' PhD, or Nick Roach riding in on Hee-Haw in Coach Blue's class while bellowing out his mating call. It is the hilarious and sometimes offensive scholastic ball practices, long nights at NHS events, and coming before and after school to get better. Mount Carmel is working together as a community and going the extra mile during the walkathon. The third trimester schedule, usually not containing a single full week, and taking time out of Wednesday afternoons to see the boxing matches. It is being too loud every time we assemble as a class or school. Not to be disrespectful, simply because we enjoyed each other's company so much. We're trying to both time your lunch in 15 minutes, while also having a great time at your table. It is Bill Patterson saying, "Kill me now" during tests. Pat Bulger's questions. Jack Reagan's incredible storytelling and artistic abilities. Connor Hirsch's corduroys. The rides to school with Jack Harry and Connor Golden, which were always unique. And Brendan Walsh's questionable parking abilities. These are just some of the hundreds of memories I have from being at Mount Carmel. These are the memories that make it a special place to be at, and that have made me enjoy my time here so much. And for this class of 2012, we have gone through so much together. We are the cream of the crop. In numbers, we are about half the kids who took the entrance exam, and about a third of who we began freshman year with. Mount Carmel has not been for everyone, but we have made it through and are all the better for it. We have met through classes and sports, grown through retreats, relaxed on Caravan Day, bonded on Kairos, celebrated a prom and graduation next Sunday, and shared innumerable everyday experiences. Some of us have even been fortunate enough to travel abroad over spring break of this year. I'm sure I speak for everyone when I say that the times we've spent together will never be forgotten. And though we have been through many good times, we have experienced tragedy. As you all know, one of our classmates and friends is no longer with us. Calvin, we all miss you, and we wish you were here with us for this past year. Yet though the passing of Calvin Kennelly was very difficult for all of us, we grew even closer as a class, and made this senior year the best we possibly could in Calvin's memory. Upon reflecting on my time at Mount Carmel, I have realized that there is a huge list of people I need to thank. First, I have to thank my family, especially my parents. I would not be up here without the enormous support of my parents throughout high school. My parents always pushed me to be my best, and were very helpful for my first 3 years. This past year, during the college admissions process, they helped me in more ways than I could think of. Whether it was reading and rereading my essays, filling out numerous information sheets, driving me to interviews, open houses, and college visits, or just keeping me on track and aware of deadlines, my parents were always there for me throughout the admissions process. Most importantly to me, they did not demand or expect anything from me other than that I do my best. None of my accomplishments were taken for granted, and they were always proud of what I did. This really meant a lot to me, and I thank you guys so much for your help, love, and care over my high school career. All of my teachers have impacted me in many ways. I wish I had time to thank you all for what you have taught me. There are a few teachers in particular that I would like to thank for their impact on my high school experience. First, I would like to thank Mr. Eisenbraun. He has been my counselor for the last 2 years and deserves a lot of credit for me with my experience with getting into college. Being the oldest in my family, it was the first time my parents or I went through the college experience, and Mr. Eisenbraun was a huge help. Whether writing recommendation letters or sitting down and answering my never-ending amount of questions, Mr. Eisenbraun was always very nice and of great assistance to me. I, along with the rest of the class of 2012, thank him a lot for everything he has done for us. Secondly, I would like to thank Coach E. Though I had known Coach E for a long time, this class was like nothing I could have predicted. It was very challenging, especially this year, and yet also very enjoyable. Though we could always count on learning physics, we never knew what would happen in this class. Physics was made interesting by barrages of jokes and insults, and our applications of physics, such as our Spudzuka, not only helped us learn, they were genuinely fun. Mrs. Whitaker was very instrumental in the area of math. I came into our class with a decent knowledge of algebra and left fully prepared to succeed in calculus. The 2 years in our class were always interesting. Whether it was taking time out of Friday to sing some songs, making sure Roach and Patterson were on the lookout for you-know-who, or being terrified of breaking the smartboard, every day Mrs. Whitaker's class was unique. I want to thank Mrs. Whitaker for all the math and life lessons she taught me. Finally, I would like to both thank and wish a fond farewell to Coach Nick. I had Coach Nick for geometry during freshman year, but his influence extends far past geometry. Coach Nick set the example from the first day of class on what a man of Carmel is supposed to be. When we weren't learning geometry, we listened to Coach Nick's stories about golf, baseball, other students, and the walkabout. Coach Nick showed all of us how to be a man of Carmel, and his teachings of wisdom have had a big impact on me. I wish him a happy retirement and thank him for what he has done for me. I would like to give a lot of credit to this class's top 10 students. Though we do not all have the opportunity to speak, everyone deserves it. We have the most incredible and intelligent group of seniors that I have ever seen. With Sal Ramirez going to the University of Illinois, Justin Ross to Northwestern, Peter Smigosh to the University of Chicago, Connor Hirsch to St. Louis University, Brendan Walsh to the University of Minnesota, Kevin Andres and I to Notre Dame, and TJ Laurisch to Harvard. We represent the best institutions in the Midwest and the best college overall in the country. TJ, Nick Grosh, and Bill Patterson have each received scholarships to continue their athletic passions. Nick at Western Michigan and Bill at Wisconsin-Stevens Point. Others have full or large academic scholarships. I am proud to be a member of such an outstanding group of students, and I thank you all for the great time we have spent together and for pushing me to do my best. This expands also to the students that have persevered through the honors curriculum for 4 years. The 17 of us have been through a lot together, and we've come out on top. In particular, I would like to recognize the member of our class ranked 3rd, Kevin Andres. So this was the way it worked out in the end. Kevin and I could easily have switched roles. For the majority of these 4 years, we were either tied or 1 grade apart. By 1 grade apart, I mean the difference between an A+ and an A. We have been tied for 2nd, tied for 3rd, and have both been 2nd and 3rd alone. This academic rivalry worked to both of our advantages. With a lot on the line every trimester, our rivalry pushed each of us to work harder and harder and to harness our full potential. I truly think that without this motivation, I would not have had the success I have had. It was always in good spirits though. There were never any hard feelings or resentments. And as a result of all this, Kevin and I have become great friends. Kevin, I thank you for how you have helped me succeed in high school, and I look forward to continuing on to college with you next year. It is a weird feeling to think that something so standard in our lives is suddenly coming to an end. After tomorrow morning, we will be finished with our time at Mount Carmel. It went by fast, and yet looking back, we discovered countless memories, good times, and good friends. We have been through a lot together, both good times and bad. But our time at Mount Carmel has made all of us so much closer. Compare freshman orientation to prom last Saturday. We have developed into a class of brothers, a class of men of Carmel. And next year in college, and for the rest of my life, I'll be proud to say that I was part of the Mount Carmel class of 2012.